If you're looking for some awesome movies or TV shows featuring Netflix miniseries in 2023, you just click on the right video. Get ready to dive into these amazing ones that showcase unique connections. We're excited to share this ranking with you and would love to hear your favorites in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss out on discovering great movies and TV shows again. Number 1. A Perfect Story. Director, Chloe Wallace. Margot, Ana Castillo, and David, Alvaro Mel, could hardly be more different. While she, as the heir to a multi-million-dollar hotel empire, has been used to luxury and glamour since childhood, David can barely make ends meet with his 3 jobs. And yet fate seems to want the two to become closer despite all their differences. At first glance, Margot's life seems perfect, but behind the perfect facade her soul lies in ruins. She recently fled her own wedding because she realized that she could never be herself in the superficial world of the beautiful and rich. David is different from all the men Margot has met so far. He's a music nerd, wears tattered clothes and doesn't want to pretend for anyone. Sparks soon fly between the two, but does the unlikely couple really have a future? Number 2. Florida Man. Director, Donald Todd. Mike Valentine is a former policeman who, due to gambling debts, has placed himself at the service of the boss Moss Yankov in Philadelphia. Often among his tasks there is that of looking after the beautiful and capricious Deli West, with whom he also has a relationship that must absolutely remain secret. When Deli disappears for the umpteenth time, her clues indicate that she has left for Florida, the very state where Mike comes from, so he will have to return home to look for the girl. In addition to finding his family, with his sister Patsy and his criminal father Sonny, he will soon find his ex-wife, Detective Iris, on his tail. Furthermore, at the airport, Mike steals a gun owned by Sheriff Ketcher, getting him into increasingly hyperbolic trouble. Number 3. Arnold. Director, Leslie Chilcutt. A 3-part docuseries that includes never-before-seen images and stories of Arnold Schwarzenegger's journey from the Austrian countryside to the pinnacle of the American dream, thanks to unprecedented access to the most candid interviews with Schwarzenegger himself, but also with friends, enemies, colleagues and simple observers. From the days of the Man of Steel through his Hollywood triumphs to his tenure as governor of California, the docuseries reveals the joys and sorrows of his family life in a narrative that reflects a decidedly uncommon personality. Number 4. Dear Child. Director, Isabel Kleefeld. A mysterious woman's escape from her harrowing captivity points investigators toward the dark truth behind an unsolved disappearance 13 years earlier. Lena lives in complete isolation together with the 2 children Hannah and Jonathan in a highly secured home. They eat their meals, go to the toilet and to bed at precisely prescribed times. As soon as he enters the room, they line up to show their hands. They obey to everything he says. Until the young woman manages to escape. After a near-fatal car accident, she is hospitalized, accompanied by Hannah. But the true extent of this nightmare is revealed with the arrival of Lena's parents at the hospital the same night. They have been desperately searching for their missing daughter for almost 13 years. Number 5. Painkiller. Director, Micah Fitzgerman Blue. Edie Flowers investigated Purdue Pharma for a long time but ran into a wall erected by the lawyers and above all by the powerful contacts of the company responsible for the painkiller OxyContin. Now she is asked to collaborate on a new investigation, which points directly to the tycoon Richard Sackler, and Edie thus tells her story, which intersects with that of a young Purdue representative, Shannon Sheffer. Ensnared by the easy money that Britt Hufford promises her, Shannon enters the world of Purdue and soon earns her share, but she becomes increasingly scarred by the effects of the drug she is pushing onto the market. Number 6. Kaleidoscope. Director, Eric Garcia. A master thief and his gang attempt an epic and complex heist worth $7 billion, but betrayal, greed, and other threats put the plan in jeopardy. The story focuses on a heterogeneous group of thieves, each specialized and recruited to play a specific role in what will be the robbery of the century. $7 billion in bonds, in the hands of the so-called triad. The 3 bank owners of the bonds have in fact turned to Roger Salas, Rufus Sewell, the man in the high castle, who has built the most secure vault in the world. The gang, led by Leo Papp, Giancarlo Esposito, Breaking Bad, will develop a perfect plan, but everyone will pursue personal motivations which will leave room for errors and twists. Number 7. All the Light We Cannot See. Director, Stephen Knight. Europe, at the turbulent time of the Second World War. Marie-Laure Leblanc, Aria Mia Liberty, is a blind girl who seeks refuge with her uncle in France when the war makes her homeland uninhabitable. Werner Pfennig, Louis Hoffmann, is a German teenager from the Ruhr area whose outstanding technical talent soon attracts attention. Nobody can repair a radio as quickly as he can. The Wehrmacht took advantage of this talent and quickly used it in the war to track down enemy transmitters and take them out of circulation. Since Marie-Laure's father was kidnapped by the Germans, she has harbored a deep grudge against the invaders and has used radio technology to send covert resistance messages. Number 8. Bodies. Director, Marco Cruzy-Paintner. Edmund Hillinghead tries to solve an 1890 murder committed in London's infamous Whitechapel neighborhood. Carl Whiteman is also dealing with a mysterious death, but we are in 1940, while Sergeant Shahara Hassan has to face her case in 2023. Finally, D.S. Maplewood operates in a post-apocalyptic future, in 2050. The connection between the various cases is provided by disturbing political leader Elias Mannix. The series is the adaptation of the comic of the same name by the late British cartoonist who passed away in 2021, but the narrated eras diverge because the present of the comic story was 2015. Number 9. Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. Director, Shonda Rhimes. Young Charlotte, India Amartefio, is forced to marry King George, Corey Maltreist, against her will. At first, the unlikely couple can't stand each other, but against the backdrop of the British royal court, it doesn't take long for sparks to fly. Dancing through ball nights, heated verbal battles and passionate kisses don't take long to arrive. The miniseries tells of Charlotte's initial difficulties in high society, her budding love for King George and her rise to become the most powerful woman in the country. In the spin-off to the Bridgerton saga, some beloved characters appear again, including the young Lady Danbury, Arsema Thomas, and Violet Ledger, Connie Jenkins Gregg, who later becomes Lady Bridgerton. Number 10. The Fall of the House of Usher. Director, Mike Flanagan. At first glance, siblings Roderick, Bruce Greenwood, and Madeline Usher, Mary McDonnell, have everything you could wish for. They are assured of wealth and professional success because together they founded the pharmaceutical company, Fortunato Pharmaceuticals, and transformed it into a multi-million-dollar company over the decades. But as impressive as the Usher dynasty's achievements may appear on the outside, an impenetrable web of lies threatens to destroy the family from within. When a mysterious woman shows up on the property, it won't be long before the first members of the Usher family are found dead. Who is the stranger and does she have anything to do with the mysterious deaths?